boost it, noise gate it, see how this works. That's a Strat, dude. All right, g'day. My name's Rue. I'm a guitarist here in Nashville. I'm having a bit of fun. I'm playing with some toys that I want to make some videos on. I'm playing one of my guitars. This belongs to a very close and dear friend of mine, Tyler Tomlinson, who does a lot of studio work in Nashville. He plays for a bloke named Morgan Wallen. And I'm very thankful that he entrusted me to make this for him. And I'm swapping out the pickups. These are actually my pickups, so we could get it out to him a little faster ahead of time. But I need to get them back. It's the last pickup that Klein ever made. It's a 64 experience with a bass plate, slightly overwound. And it's the two last pickups that JW Restoration have made. So it's a pretty special guitar. Well, the pickups are, at least to me. I'm plugged into a Swell Amplificafion Crystal Codex, which isn't advertised as an overdrive or a distortion pedal, but as an external overdrive channel. And genuinely, that is the only way I can describe it. It's like a second channel. And then I'm plugged into this new toy I have, a Quad Cortex Mini. These things were given to me. Lowell at Swell, thank you. The dude just understands how to make a pedal feel amazing. I usually don't love high gain pedals, but this thing does it. And then Ryan at Neural, thank you. I'm just so thankful to be able to play with this and mess with this. Here's my clean tone for anyone who was wondering. There are two captures from Devin at the Tone Shepherd. Again, thank you, Devin, for sharing so many captures with me. I'm in love with your work. It's his Neve capture going into a split, which then goes to an AC30 and a Pro Sonic. Anyway, today I wanted to talk a bit about something that I think all musicians and in general people struggle with, and what I've been going through, which is maybe why I haven't posted myself as much on the channel, and that's ego and having self-humility and working on ourselves. Not just as a man or as a part of a band or a friendship or relationship or synergy or anything like that, but as the self. You know, I feel inherently musicians are some of the most selfish people around, right? We're asking the universe to bow down to us and submit to the will of us wishing to play music for a living, which is a really big ask. And I won't say who, but there's a really phenomenal musician who's been quite a big impact on me, and I called him just in tears once about this. I don't know what to do. I'm done, man. I'm done. And he goes, man, you're asking the universe to pay your bills by playing music. That's pretty huge. And the deeper I get into this, the more I'm lucky enough to do things like receive a pedal. I guess for some it might seem insignificant at some points, but when I see something like this, I can't help but battle internally the constant idea of how thankful I am versus why me, and do I deserve it? And I think the ego is something that is present in all musicians. It's present in our playing, it's present in our stagecraft, it's present in the way we present and represent a tune, it's present in the way we carry ourselves. Now, that's not to say I don't know if one can be egoless. Perhaps after a very deep amount of searching you can be, but finding the balance between healthy confidence and oversaturation of confidence is a very fine line. I'm discovering. Maybe someday I'll have enough confidence and ego to say I got the camera straight, because I can see it's slightly not. Which is typical fashion. But you know what? I'm learning to accept the imperfections. But I've promised myself that I would work really hard to become a better musician. And as I do so, it's funny that the better I get perhaps on a technical level or philosophical level at playing music, the more I find myself finding less I'm happy with. And I'm wondering if that's my ego trying to force me into being better, or if it's the soul or my heart telling me to calm down because the ego is getting restless and unbound. When we play a song, we have to consider that the song is for the listener. And to remove ourselves from that equation and play the song with that in mind is very hard, especially for soloing instruments, sax, guitar, etc., who commonly do take up a large part of the limelight, because we have to consider that, yes, in that moment, perhaps you'd wonder if it's about you, but it's not, is it? It's about serving the song. If you're playing something nice and pretty, if you were to just play all over it in a way that doesn't make sense, that's perhaps your ego taking over. But to slow yourself down, and I feel like it's easier to begin going faster if you're used to playing slower than it is to slow down if you love playing fast. That's something I've been really grappling with over the past few months as I play, is calming myself and going, wow, I don't need to sweep pick over this section, or I don't need to do this. I just need to play a melody. I don't know why it took me so long to understand that, but it did. Serving the song is perhaps in the moment the most selfless thing you can do, but it's a conundrum, isn't it? Because by serving the song, you also have to have the confidence in believing that you're serving the song. I think this is the true thing that makes someone who is a session musician or a brilliant live improvisatory musician at that God tier. Let's take Jimmy Herring. Jimmy Herring's one of my all-time favorites. I absolutely love his playing. I didn't understand for a long time why he was allowed to play so many notes and I wasn't, kind of thing. Like, but he does it, why can't I do it? And then I realized in the moment he's serving the song, he's playing when he does that, but he also has the ability to slow down and play so emotionally that it moves you. I heard this bootleg of him playing Jeff Beck's "'Cause We've Ended as Lovers" that just took me to town. It's like when I hear Matteo Mancuso, everything he plays is musical. And we can deduce that down to intervals and tone and all this, but I'm finding it so interesting as a musician, a working musician, battling with the self in terms of self-development. I'm wondering if anyone else has perhaps gone through this. Perhaps this is a me at 31 thing, going through a lot of changes in my life and learning to work with those. But I'm also wondering if that's just how it is. It's all to say, when I receive gear like this, it's funny because I'm so thankful and I'm so excited. I genuinely am like a child on Christmas. There's a video of the young child getting a Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64! And I loved that video as a kid. I always thought it was so funny. But that's how I feel every time I open one of these boxes. Or I got sent a guitar pick recently, a prototype guitar pick that I'm having input on. And I was like nearly in tears about it. You know, I was really fortunate to study with a man named Mick Goodrick. Mick Goodrick taught all the jazz greats. Pat Metheny, Julian Lage, John Scofield, Bill Frisell, Lionel Luque, Wolfgang Muspiel, so many others. And then, for some reason, I was his last student. And I've never had an ego about that, but more confusion. And Mick's never had an ego, and I asked him about it once. I almost don't want to paraphrase. But Mick said, one time we almost made music after we played, and that was his way of saying, you know, if I was more confident or perhaps you were more cocky, we could have said that was the best thing ever, but instead we served the moment. And I think about that a lot. Someday I'll do a video about Mick. That can be a little difficult at times to discuss because he was one of my best friends. But I think the hardest thing about being a musician is grappling with the self. Am I good? Am I bad? Am I doing the right things? Why did I get fired? Why did I get hired? Why am I here and why isn't my guitar teacher, Tom, one of my closest friends? But I'm 31. I still call him every day. I still get lessons from him. I still ask him what to work on. Someday I'll post a big video about Tom. He truly is. That is my favorite guitar player on the planet. And he will see this. And I want him to know that. I say it all the time. But there's someone who was never worried about showing off or being in a big band or being famous. He just wanted to play guitar really well, and he achieved that. And I respect that so much, more than I can express. I think that's beautiful. I think a part of development and growth as a musician is realizing that none of it's about you. Ultimately, it's like Wayne Krantz said, practice is the reward. You play a really good gig and then you go home and go, okay, I get to work on this. Recently I've been working on playing clean and my musicality, and that's very difficult. But it's been fun taking small progressions and trying to play over them. I'll play one towards the end that I played yesterday that I liked. But I think all in all, this is to say, I've been going through some stuff, and I'm sorry I haven't posted myself on the channel. I know that's not going to be as popular as the interviews or talking to other people, but I'm thankful for those who reach out and do talk to me. And do enjoy my presence in this virtual space where I post videos that sometimes seem like nothing, but turn into beautiful moments, right? I'm sometimes wondering if I'm deserving of that, but I'm ever so thankful that people are encouraging and allowing a space for me to keep posting and keep being who I am. And I wanted to show a video that perhaps is a more real side of how things are. You know, I used to live off the constant idea that, well, I have 20 gigs this week. That's my self-value. And now I look at myself and say, did I play well this week? Did I play to the best of my ability? And that's how I look at things, whether it's 1 gig or 20. You know, I did 23 in a week once, and I felt proud about that. And I look back and think, I don't feel anything about that. If I deduce everything down to money and how many gigs I have, then none of it's worth it. Looking past the ego and the shadow of yourself and realizing, why do you want to play music? And I just want to play something pretty and beautiful. There's this piano intro. I want to choke up every time I hear it. Bill Evans playing Alice in Wonderland Take 2 at the Village Vanguard. It breaks me down. Mick Goodrick playing with Pat Metheny, playing Meditations. 2003 Montreux Jazz Festival. Oh, that one tears me down and reminds me who I got to know. That guy could play guitar better than anyone, right? He's comping on it is so insane. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you with this thought. Is the music about you, or is it about someone else? Where do you lay? Have you made it? Will you ever make it? If you stop learning, do you stop being? What's the thing you've grappled with most inwardly? Kenny Werner would talk about this with me a lot. You know, I'm so thankful everyone who has talked to me, reached out ever. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity to talk about these things. So if anyone does have a specific video they want to hear about, I'd love to do it. You know, it's cool to talk about gear, it's cool to talk about licks, but perhaps these deeper conversations are something that need to occur, and I think need to be more prevalent in the space of music as we grow and move forward. A lot of times music can be lost in translation now to the speed at which it's put out. Back when an album took a year and meant something, as opposed to a song in 3 hours. But I'd like to care deeply and think about music, and whether that gets views or not, I don't really care. I think this is more important to put out into the world than anything. So I'm going to play over this silly little progression. It's like a D major 9 over its 5th to A minor 11. And then with the swell. I'll end with my favorite settings on this and also my favorite way to play an A minor chord. Lol, I owe you a video on this and I promise it's coming. I'm sorry it's taken so long. And Ryan, I'm going to do many videos. And Michael for this quad cortex. I'm so excited to do some work with them. I'm so thankful for everything. I'm just thankful to be a musician and do what I do and to be able to grow as a person, a musician, and perhaps share that journey with people, whether it means something to anyone or whatever. Make fun of me all you want. I'm sure someone out there is, but hopefully you can have a come-to moment and feel something. Thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you.